I'm on the air, we got this pockets flow. It's me and Tony on the mics, we gotta let you know of current events, little gaming, sprinkle in some entertainment. We stay humble, but our moms still think we're famous. Turn up the bass and baby, maybe let that magic flow. Our spoken word is all the things you really wanna know. Having a good time on the show, T-Bows and Matty G. Tune in and hit subscribe and join us on the FAP.
And welcome back, everybody, to a super technically messed up episode of the Freaking Awesome Podcast, where Tony's here, but he's not really here. And today we're here with Mr. Joey Arena. And we're going to have a little chat today. And Tony's going to try to sort out the board and probably just kind of chime in whenever, maybe. So I guess we'll kick it off. How you doing today, Joey?
I'm doing well, man. How are you?
Good. Staying safe?
I'm as safe as I can.
Yeah, that a boy. Good. Well, we'll kick off the show into the first segment of the show, which is our news. So we'll get into the news. So I have a couple news articles today, and seems to be all about animals this time around. So I'm a big dog lover. Maybe not so much the second article, but we'll dive right in. And Joey, feel free to jump in. So the article reads: Rough time. Dog steals reporter's mic, goes viral and melts hearts on live TV. So I don't know if you've seen this video yet. It's fairly new. But a Russian reporter had a rough time on live TV when a dog came out of nowhere and grabbed her microphone, took off, and she started chasing after it while the news crews just filmed and laughed. So, so her name was Nezda, was starting her live stand-up on Mir TV about warm weather coming to Moscow when Martin, a service golden retriever, made a high jump and scored her mic with his mouth. The correspondent finally caught up with the news hound, who let go of the mic, and she resumed the rest of the broadcast with her new friend. So the video within 1 hour racked up over 500,000 views, and it's well on its way to 4 million. So,
wow.
Yeah. Are you a dog guy or a cat guy?
I love dogs, man. I'm allergic to cats.
Yeah.
I don't dislike cats. I just can't be around them. So.
Nice. I like both. I have a golden retriever and an Australian Shepherd. So, and male and female Lincoln Zelda after my favorite video game.
Very nice.
And yep. And we have all kinds of Zelda paraphernalia all over the basement and stuff. So big Nintendo guy.
The Australian Shepherd, my producer has one. It's like a horse. Is yours like big?
Mine's a female. She's actually quite small. She looks a lot like a border collie.
Okay.
But I've seen some big Australian Shepherds.
Yeah.
So does he have like the crop tail or?
Yeah, he's got the crop tail. He probably grew up next to a nuclear plant or something. he's like massive.
Nice. Right on. Yeah, and it's funny. My dogs, like, they're so jealous of one another. Like, I don't know if you've ever been around, like, had two dogs for family pets, but they're mine in particular. Like, if I pet one, like, I have a 2-story home, so I can pet one in the basement, and the one will start running from 2 floors up because he knows I'm petting her. So it's bonkers. But yeah. All right. Well, I'll jump into my next article here. I don't know if you've seen this one. This one's pretty new too. But lizard on the loose. Lizard nicknamed Godzilla hits up a 7-Eleven in Thailand. So I watched the video for this. A miniature version of Godzilla put a scare into shoppers in Thailand when a 7-foot lizard, and he was fat too, like he must have been, a foot or two around, and he starts climbing all the walls and setting products all over the floor, and people are freaking out. Apparently what he wanted to do is he wanted to get up to the top so he can lay under the fluorescent lights, like for the heat lamp. And so people were freaking out. I've never seen a lizard this big before. as I saw. So if you get a chance to look it up, to our listeners, to have a look, because I've never seen an iguana like this. And what's that?
So that sounds really funny.
Shut up, Tony.
Finally coming through. Sorry about that.
What was it?
I still not 100% sure. Something's acting up. I actually think it's Chrome for some reason. Yeah, I was having a problem with Chrome earlier today. So
nice. Well, I just got through my 2, and
okay.
it was the animal themed one today. What do you got?
Perfect. Excellent. If you're both animal, because I missed it, then I do have something here. I actually got a couple ones. But before we get there, actually, I'm not sure if you guys heard about the world record holder now for the longest breath held underwater.
No.
It's now 24 minutes and 30 seconds.
How?
Yeah, it's some Swedish diver basically is able to
That's
do
a small
this,
coma,
right? Well, my worry is you know, the brain without oxygen for 2 minutes can cause brain damage. So just imagine what it's like at 24 minutes.
That might be when they actually jumped in and like gave him CPR and realized he was actually dead.
Yeah,
right. I
like
wondered that
this
too.
individual. That's insane.
Yeah, I know that's it boggles my mind really. So so before I jump into the articles, again, Joey, terribly sorry for the audio issues. We never actually have issues before, so I'm not sure what's happening there.
It's me.
Yeah.
Totally
he's our Murphy's Law now.
It's got to be you're bringing the chaos. So I'm gonna trust Matty G did an okay intro there and didn't ruin me. So
you did good. You did great.
Excellent. All right. So my first article today. This and again, stop me if you've heard this one, Matty, or if it was something you did that I missed. But this is actually a little bit of a follow-up to an episode we'd done a while ago. Remember the candle that smells like Gwyneth Paltrow's vagina?
Oh yeah, Goop or whatever.
Yeah, well, that's her company is Goop.
Okay,
and she makes these candles, and at some point they decided to do one that apparently smelled like her vagina. Now, to further this, the newest one was Gwyneth Paltrow sent Demi Lovato a gift, and I think Gwyneth Paltrow's got something with vaginas, because this one is the smell of Demi Lovato's after orgasming.
How? What kind of research goes into that?
Well, this is what I'm thinking. I'm like, this doesn't even make any sense. Like, how the hell is this possible? But she sent her actually a few things, but basically, let me do a quick little about the article here. So, with Gwyneth Paltrow and Demi Lovato was of course going through a whole bunch of stuff, and Gwyneth Paltrow for some reason decided to send her a gift, and it involved a vibrator and the candle that apparently smelt like Demi Lovato's orgasm. The thing was, you know what? I think she was shocked. She was so shocked. I mean, she didn't really know what to do. So Demi Lovato, of course, went to her Instagram and instantly said, "Hey, thanks for all this. Like, you're too real." And I think she had a really good laugh about it. But I'm not sure what. First of all, you've named your company Goop. That's a horrible name when you're making candles that apparently smell like vaginas. But secondly, it's really bold to be all of a sudden like, by the way, this is what your orgasm smells like in my mind. Like you said, what kind of research? Is like someone go in and check the sheets afterwards, like try to sample or scrape things. It just doesn't make sense. So
her R&D department's just a CSI team.
Right? Or a crazy group of stalkers. I don't know. Absolutely bizarre. So
fuck, Tony. Thanks for that.
Yeah, no problem. All for a quarter. So so I guess, Joey, I mean, if you were going to have a candle made, what scent would it be? Just in case Gwyneth Paltrow's listening, like.
Well, I would like something a little bit better than an after nut. So I mean, that's
fair. That's fair.
I mean, I guess that would be more of the chlorine for those who don't know.
Yeah. That's so funny. I was going to say that.
Right.
When you were talking about Demi Lovato, I'm thinking like, man, it's got to be like, maybe like that iron, coppery, metallic thing. Maybe that's what that is. But I'm like,
Yeah.
that's a loud candle.
Just once, like stainless steel.
That's it. That's it.
Stainless steel.
Yeah, nice and sterile.
It tastes like pennies.
Right. Yeah.
Yep. There it is.
That's great. So my follow-up article, since you've done yours, and this one was kind of it kind of explains a little bit, but let me get into this. The article was missing woman found naked inside a Florida storm drain, but how she got there was bizarre. And first of all, I'm like, really? Because the first thing that gets bizarre is the fact that she's naked in a storm drain. But so what happened was a 43-year-old woman who had been missing for 3 weeks was rescued on Tuesday after she was found trapped inside a storm drain, just a few feet away from the Delray Beach thoroughfare. She was naked and unable to stand on her own. So basically, someone had pulled up. They were waiting in traffic. They heard a woman screaming from their window. So of course, she got out and ran out to this storm drain to find that here's a naked woman. So she called up 911. 911, of course, put down this blanket and tried to give her privacy as they craned her out. But they're kind of like, well, how did this happen? How did you get there? So she basically goes to the police station and she gives her recount that, she was. She decided to go for a swim near her boyfriend's home in West Delray Beach when she came across a doorway that led to a shallow part of the canal. Then she entered that doorway and noticed there was a tunnel. So then she decided to go down the tunnel. And basically, she became curious, continued walking down the tunnel, and then it led to another tunnel, which led to another tunnel, and then she got lost, and she wasn't able to work her way back. So 3 weeks later, she finally saw light up ahead, and she goes to the storm drain. And even though people weren't answering her calls for help, she continued to sit there because she's like, well, this is my only chance. I haven't come across anywhere else. So yeah, basically sat there, called for help. They hauled her out. And I thought they were saying, oh, this is the most mysterious, the weirdest thing. At no point did they ever say, what happened to her clothes?
Yeah. Toxicology on that one, brother.
Right?
She was clearly on magic mushrooms.
Yeah. So then, of course, I guess her mom, was either in an interview or then went to the police and talked to them afterwards. And they said that, she has a series of serious mental illness, and especially worse when she's been doing drugs. So, so then I guess they did a toxicology and they found out, or there was nothing because it had been in 3 weeks. So they asked her, when was the last time she did drugs? And conveniently, it was the day that she went missing.
How about what's today? Yeah, 3 weeks ago now.
Well, I mean, what did you survive on for 3 weeks?
That's what I was wondering the whole time.
Yeah, so what happened to your clothes and what were you eating?
She ate her clothes.
Yeah,
she ate her clothes.
Maybe that's what it was. Maybe she ate her clothes. Oh my god. So Mark Ann jumped in and asked, what are we talking about? Some crazy news. Woman found naked in a storm drain inside Florida. Very mysterious.
Looking for Pennywise.
Yeah. Well, I don't know which would be more horrific. So at this point,
they all float down here.
Yep.
No, I was going to ask actually before you came in right at the end of my article there, but I was going to ask Joey, when you were growing up, did you have any weird pets?
Weird pets?
Yeah. Like we had a pet raccoon when I was growing up, which was awesome.
That's cool. I think my older brother had either a squirrel or a raccoon, maybe at some point. Like he helped it get back on its feet. It might have fallen out of a tree or something like that. So
that's pretty cool.
Other than that, I've had the basic ferrets and gerbils and hamsters and guinea pigs and all that stuff.
Nice.
Nothing crazy.
Small
exotic.
animals. Yeah.
No 7-foot lizards, eh?
Yeah.
No, my grandparents had a parakeet though, and it never stopped talking. So, that was awesome. I actually kind of want one now that I'm older.
Yeah.
Because it'll give me that perfect communication when I get home from work, but it'll not talk my ear off. So it'll just be just enough camaraderie just when I get home. So Think about
We
getting
had, we had an article one time about this parrot, and it was always talking shit to its owner. So the neighbors called like the cops for domestic abuse, and it was just the
yes,
it was just the parrot.
that is hysterical. So funny.
Yeah, my grandparents had a bird, and my grandfather had taught it to say "Mary shit," and and then of course every time my grandmother would walk by, the bird would say this, and she just hated this bird to death. Yeah, so be careful what you wish for.
Right.
My youngest wants a bird. I don't know why. We've got enough pets in the house. It's starting to turn into one of those like this animal ate this animal that ate this animal that ate. Like that's totally going to happen in my house now. So I just yeah. So we're
My
already
boys
having
have been bugging for a
fish.
bird because they want to name it Navi. That's the only reason. So then we have Link, Zelda, and Navi. So I want to teach it to say, "Hey, listen."
Yeah, right. That would be honestly probably the biggest waste of money, but good for you. Like, I mean, we should try. You've done worse, I guess. Apparently, Mark had an owl for a week and it flew away. Really, an owl? Like, do you actually buy these owls from the store, or is it one of those things that just kind of crashed into your window and you kind of worked it back to health?
I kind of hope there's an owl store.
Yeah.
Sounds awesome.
Right?
That is pretty cool. I thought about that.
Excuse me, sir. Show me your Hooters.
Yeah, right. Oh my God, that's totally why you'd want someone to have a
just to make that joke.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's crazy. So, Joey, thank you very much for joining us again. Terribly sorry for the technical delays, but we're really thrilled to have you on the show. Yeah. So let's get into asking you some questions here, and geez, I got so many questions for you, but let's just go right into the craziness right now, and let's talk about Dreams. So
Cool.
you did a remake, of course, of Van Halen's Dreams. Sammy Hagar has given you the thumbs up. How did this come about? How did you get this?
So I finished the song, I sent it to my team, and we all were so happy with the final product that my publicist / manager was like, I know somebody who knows Sammy's manager. Let's just see if Sammy will even wrap his ears around it, just to get a thought. And so we received a response shortly after, and I was like, oh my God. And the guy's like, hey, Sammy loves this. This is Sammy's manager. He goes, he loves it. Can you tell us a little bit more about me, the artist, and stuff like that? So she sent over like a personal bio and all this stuff, and then it was like kind of quiet for like a few days, and then all of a sudden it was like this big written quote comes back, like this like nice lengthy paragraph, and you could just tell from the response that he really took the time to point out the things that he liked, the details in it, and everything that I put into it. And then like a couple weeks after we got the video endorsement, like the video quote, and it was insane. Like she called me at like 11 p.m. and she's like, you're not going to believe this. And she sends it to me, and I'm like, holy shit. And I jump up. Forgive me. Am I not allowed to swear, by the way?
No,
we're explicit, so you can say whatever you want.
Okay.
Just be yourself.
You already said after nut earlier.
Yeah.
So yeah, I flipped out. I started laughing, like just out of complete like excitement, and I missed the whole thing, and I had to go back and watch it, and I just saw him, and when he said he was behind me, I just kind of like it was a pinnacle moment. I mean, I've been playing music since I was 11 years old, and it's by far, out of every little success that I've had, whatever it may have been, this is by far the coolest thing I've ever received or experienced in the music industry, for sure.
Yeah, that's very, very cool. Not only just a great story, but I mean, it's awesome to not only have created an amazing cover of the song, but to have Sammy back it up, to have the main man himself, like that's really cool. Yeah,
man, I love Sammy. I love all eras of Van Halen, but I definitely grew up on 5150, and Dreams was, I keep saying it for the press, and I know I sound like I've choreograph the speech so much, but it really is the soundtrack to my childhood. Like I would play that song on repeat daily. I would drive my mom nuts. And especially like when the Power Rangers movie came out, it's like when that ending kicks in and everything. That's like it's so many guys my age and like, you know, in my generation, they remember the song from that movie primarily. I mean, and it shaped us. It was like one of the best things about that movie was that song. So
Yeah.
it was like this weird full circle thing. But honestly, I wanted to do this. I wanted to cover it last summer, and COVID gave me a chance to finally start working on this solo project and doing arena and all that stuff. And because Outlier, my rock band, my metal band, was just so active touring, and I just never had the time to create another project. So COVID put everything on pause, gave me a chance to do this, and then I wanted to cover Van Halen. I like doing covers because it allows me to work with already a hit and just kind of find my sound and just create a little bit of identity for myself through already a well-written song. And Dreams to me was already perfect. Since my arena project's very 80s influence, I thought that's one of the best songs to do.
Yeah.
And then honestly, it was just Eddie passed in the process of wrapping that song up. And I was like, you know what? I want to make this a complete tribute track, which is why, not just a cover, but a tribute, which is why I took Sammy's quote. I searched YouTube like high and low, and I found this perfect quote of him talking about Eddie and how Eddie inspired him to write songs like Dreams and Right Now and all of this. I'm like, this is that quote. We're putting it in here. And it's so like, obviously unorthodox to throw like a quote in the middle of a song, but I wanted really just everybody to know my love for Van Halen and pay complete tribute and respect to Van Halen and Sammy and Eddie. And I didn't expect the song to do as well as it's been doing. So
Oh wow!
it's
Well,
great.
there's a lot of diehard Van Halen fans, right? And then of course there's
Oh,
that
yeah.
resurgent, since the passing. So it's not only a good time. Like I said, you did an amazing job with the song,
Thank you.
and it's now on like my permanent playlist. That's how much I was just like, oh my god, it made me feel like going right back into the '80s again. And it's really cool that you're getting more like '80s inspired music because let's be honest, like that was a good time for music. So.
The best. The
Hell
best.
yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, that's cool. So, I mean, are you with this project with Arena? Are you going to be kind of doing this side project? Because I know there's a lot of bands that they've got their main gig, and then some of them will kind of do their own little side projects, their own. Is it like Arena going to be a series of songs, an album?
Yeah. So right now I'm just going to be releasing singles, but I'm very active in the studio with both projects. I love music so much that when I go to the studio, I will block out like 2 or 3 weeks, and I'll split that time perfectly in half and dedicate it to Outlier. And immediately, like on a Wednesday of a week and a half, I'm going to go, all right, let's shift gears, and we're going right to Arena. And it's perfect because JD, my producer, he gets my vision for both things. So all we're doing is just like readjusting our sails and just kind of like working in this direction. So he knows what I'm going for with both projects. He totally gets what it's about. So it just happens to work a lot easier by having the same guy work for both, projects and stuff. So
yeah.
Arena is going to be kind of, I think as far as a live gig thing, it's probably going to be more of a specialty act thing. Very like, sprinkle certain dates, like not doing full-fledged tours like Outlier. Outlier is definitely a live performance thing. I think that's where we win people over. We're the type of band that likes to really bring it live, and that's kind of what that's really about. We're not like a band that likes to be so much on the internet and always like, being like just the trendy internet cringy shit. Like we're just a rock band. And we just bring it live, and that's what we want is people to go, that band is rock and roll. That's what I want. I don't want to be the flavor of the week on TikTok or internet things. So like artists like that, they come and go, and I kind of want longevity, and I want to be I want to be the reason that these big artists no longer can say rock is dead. So I want to bring back rock and roll to another level.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. And it's really interesting how you had specifically said about that the 30 seconds of fame of TikTok versus the longevity of a real artist. The thing I'm I guess nowadays I really find that music today is lacking is the longevity, the artist that goes on, the multiple albums, you know, like the songs change so much that they stop being who they are.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. There's I hate to say this, I really, really do. There's a lot of talent out there, and I'll never discredit the talent out there, but there's a lack of soul. And you got guys that really shine through, like Bruno Mars and Ed Sheeran and, you know, Charlie Puth. And like you get guys like that in the pop world who you can feel it, man. They bring it their live performance. We don't have, you know, the Michael Jacksons anymore. We don't have, you know, we don't have those icons anymore, you know. So what's next? What's going to happen with music? Are we just going to get a dime a dozen of these carbon copy artists that, yeah, they're good at what they do, but they're a flavor of the week, and then there's the next thing to come out? I mean, I can't even tell the difference between Cardi B and Nicki Minaj, honestly. Like, they're both one and the same, and to me, and you know, but like even good rap, I get questions a lot about rap, and I still listen to old, like, you know, 90s and early 2000s rap. I've yet to be
lyrical rap, not this mumble shit.
Yeah.
Dude, music's become almost a mockery to older generations of music. Like back then, you were talking about the 80s.
Yeah.
The 80s, you needed to be a good guitar player. You needed to be a good singer. You needed to be a good drummer, a good bassist. You needed to be good. Yet there was no crutch of Melodyne and auto-tune and all these things, and like, you know, punch and go. Granted, the digital age has given us a chance to explore these genres and dive down the rabbit hole and really like make a million other subgenres of rock, a bunch of other subgenres of metal and all these other things. And like, as much as I'm grateful for the digital age of music, it is completely proven that you don't need much other than some good technical, you know, swagginess in your fingers, and like just be savvy behind the computer and put some stuff, put it on SoundCloud, and next thing you know, you're blown up. But it's not, you know, is that talent? I'm sure to some extent. I won't discredit it, but bring it live. I want to see how good you are live. I want to see what you can do live, and that's the real struggle as an artist.
Yes.
That was one thing that I loved about Linkin Park, because I was a huge Linkin Park fan, and they did a lot of digital stuff and new age shit. But then, you know, going to their concert, you're like, holy shit, they do all this live too. So I was a big fan of them because of that, because it wasn't just studio time. It was like, holy crap, these guys put on a good show in the flesh too, which is great.
Yeah, it's true.
I saw them with Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Joey. Oh, sorry. I was just going to say it's true. I mean, at what point did they divide the line? You know, it used to be, look at Rod Stewart. I mean, he was super popular. Women were going crazy for him. I don't find him a good-looking guy. And a lot of the artists in the 80s, they weren't good-looking guys. They were guys with talent, right? And now you look at today's, where they're really trying to shift towards beautiful people. But it's okay. We can fix it digitally. Now you're lucky, good-looking guy, and you've got talent. You know.
Awesome.
So shocked.
I'm over here. I'm looking at myself in the camera. I'm like, I look like fucking Zach Morris right now. So I don't know what.
Oh, dude, you should have one of those big ass prop cell phones.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm getting the call.
Carphone. Yep.
Wait, so we're filming a video for so Fever is my first original single coming from Arena, and we're in the process of filming it, and I have to actually, after this, I'm going to shoot the last scene of it. And we got an old cell phone, we got a beeper, we have like all the nostalgic, like I'm taking everybody back to the early, you know, or the late 80s, early 90s with all of it, like this stuff. And
so good.
We're definitely yeah, I miss that era. I grew up on all that stuff, man, and I love Saved by the Bell. I love all that stuff, and it's funny to look back at it, but honestly, like, it was such a great time. You weren't so polluted with the nonsense of the internet. And again, the internet's given us a lot of great tools, but I think as a society, we have abused the shit out of these tools, and we've just kind of highlighted some of the ugliness of what the internet can do. And I don't know, I miss social interaction. I'm glad that you guys do things like this, because this is where I feed off of things like this. I like this.
It's good.
That's awesome. Thanks, man.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that just touching back to that kind of manufactured artist piece, I think it's to cater to the attention span of most teenagers these days. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you can't even hold a conversation without somebody looking at their phone every 2 minutes. And even learning, like, even you look at like enterprises and big companies, they've had to rejig their learning to micro learning, 2-minute videos to try and keep people's attention. And I think that for these big manufactured businesses that want to pump out artists, they have to cater to the crowd that's paying money for this stuff. And unfortunately, it's that kind of 2-minute time, like, attention span crowd.
Yeah.
So I'm getting some weird feedback there, Tony.
Yeah, I just noticed that. I think it's on Joey's side.
Yeah, you guys are like snap, crackle, and pop right now. So
I'm wondering what that is.
Funny, like everything.
Okay, so we are picking that up too. It's been one
Should
of those
I
days,
exit?
apparently.
Come back.
Somebody eating Rice Krispies?
No, I mean, you could try. I don't think it is. I'm not 100% sure what's going on. It's clearly gotten a lot worse. But like I said, if it was feedback from me, you said earlier there was a loop, so it doesn't seem to be happening now.
No, you're good on the loop. Just a weird crackle.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I got a crackle and delay on my end.
Give me 1 second here. I'm going to try something. So, Matty G, are you hearing the crackle now?
Nope.
Okay, I'm not either. So what I did is I muted Joey's mic. So it must be picking up your speakers, Joey. Do you happen to have headphones at all?
Yes. Give me 1 second. I'm going to exit. I'm going to come right back. Is that cool?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's cool. Okay. Yep. Stay tuned, everybody.
Be right back.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, there's definitely, I was wondering about that popping. I thought it was me. I'm thinking, oh, okay, so if there's a bunch of board issues right now, then clearly that's coming from my side.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. As soon as I plugged the headphones right into the side of the computer, I could hear everybody, but through the mixer, it wasn't coming through.
I feel bad too, because I could tell that there's a bit of a delay on his end.
Yeah.
So he'd go to answer the question, but one of us would already be like talking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yep.
but anyways, hopefully, with the headphones, that might be a bit better.
Yep. Yeah.
It's been a weird day.
It has, clearly. Like I said, that's the first time the board has not worked. I mean, I never.
Did we get like a solar flare today, or
well, I do wonder because all the volumes were down on the board, and they're always set so that when it turns on, they all go up to the right areas, and they were all sitting flat at the bottom. So that's never happened before. So I'm not sure what happened there.
You missed my first article. Did you see the video of that golden retriever that stole the mic from the reporter? It started running. Yeah?
Yes, that's really funny.
I got a kick out of that.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, no, I feel really bad, but thanks for everybody who's still hanging in there. Hopefully Joey will be back very shortly. Clearly, time might be a bit of an issue for him if he's going to finish a video right after this. So I feel bad.
The video sounds awesome, though.
Yeah. So, I mean, did you get a chance to listen to his song "Dreams"?
Yeah,
Van Halen.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
fantastic.
It is. Honestly, I listened to that and it was like the 80s flooded right back to me. I was just like, oh my God, absolutely amazing. So,
yeah, it was really well done, right? With that, that's the 80s sound for sure. And I like, well, I didn't realize I was talking to him earlier, and his band Outlier's song "Bury Me Alive" is in my workout playlist.
Oh, that's awesome.
But I didn't, like, I heard the name, and when you said the name, I recognized it, but then I couldn't tie it to Outlier, but anyways, it finally clicked. I'm like, holy shit, sweet.
Yep. Yeah. No, they've got like Outlier's got a fair amount of really, really good songs. So it's kind of great if you're into that really heavy, kind of like a grindcore. But it's really
Yeah.
good. Really sounds really good. It's a good mix between. So
Oh, there we go.
he's back.
Oh yeah, that's better.
Ah, there we go. I don't hear any popper or fizz at all.
Me neither.
So that's amazing.
Perfect.
Very, very cool. Excellent. So while you were gone, we were talking a little bit more about Outlier, and you know, that's really funny because that's kind of the main gig right now with you. Like that's normally what I would lead into, but I was so excited about the dreams that I just had to jump right in and ask you.
Cool.
Did I also read somewhere that you were part of Youngblood at one point?
So not Youngblood, who everybody knows today. No.
Okay.
So I was in a band called Youngbloods.
Okay.
Back in the day, it was a subsidiary of Sony. We signed to, but yeah, no, we are Young Bloods, 2 words with an S, not cutting out vowels or anything weird like that. So
And a space in between, yeah.
Yep.
Exactly.
there's definitely been, you got the Youngbloods from the 60s. You had Youngbloods with a Z, and then Sony wanted us to change our name because they didn't want to be affiliated with the rappers anymore. So
Yes.
we were going to go through a name change, which is what Outlier started coming into, but we changed the name so we could get out of it, start fresh, and all that stuff. And then, yeah, he came along shortly after.
Just taking it up and trying to mess up the good name.
Keep Youngbloods in. Everybody's going to be a Youngbloods.
Exactly.
Uh,
Very cool. It looks like we don't have a bit of a lag now. It sounds like you're kind of right on cue
Cool.
now. Okay,
Awesome.
good, yeah. Wonderful. So the next question, of course, I have you. Like I when we're talking again with Outlier, you know, you're looking at a lot of your videos and just fantastic. Again, really well made videos. Not only goes well with the music, it's just very artistic at the same time. And what is a process like for doing these videos?
A lot definitely goes into them. So me and Jesse, the videographer, we work very, very close on this because one day I would love to write and direct film. That's like a long-term goal of mine. So
Yep.
I definitely want to do that. And I use the music videos to kind of showcase some of the creativity that I'm able to come up with either on my own or co-writing with him. And we always look for and strive for authenticity in whatever we do. So a big one that was able to reflect a lot was Set the World in Flames, which was the opioid, epidemic, pandemic, whatever you want to call it. And those were real stories. It was real stories, but placed around one character. Mm-hmm. So I told him, when we do this, I'm not going to do no PG-13 Hollywood edition of it. I want the gruesome, ugly truth of things. I think Hollywood does a pretty good job of painting a pretty picture of things. And I don't know if it's a way, I don't know why they do it, whether it's like some conspiracy thing to warp people into trying something, or because it's cool or whatever it is. Like the old Marlboro commercials, to get people to smoke.
Yeah.
You're so cool if you do it. So
yep. Just try this heroin.
Yeah. I mean, shit, man.
It's a convincing argument.
There you go. So I wanted to portray the really ugly side of it, and 2 out of 4 members of Outlier in that video were heroin addicts. So it hit very close to home. Again, I don't like bands that do trends, which was kind of funny because shortly after we did that video, there was a band from Rochester, where we're from, and there's a couple other bands that did it, but I'm not going to take away their authenticity of doing it. It just happened to be timely. Oh, okay. Timely, all that. You did it well, too. But there's a band from Rochester that tried capitalizing on it because we got a lot of buzz around that. ABC News had hit us up for a feature, and all this crazy stuff started buzzing. So the video just naturally did well. And it was, again, just because we wanted it to come from a genuine place of it and stuff like that versus just pulling at the heartstrings of people or whatever some of these people do. And like I said, everything I do, I want to make sure it's like we can 100% relate to it, or it's authentic in some sort of way. So there's no, It's weird. It's so funny, man, because I hate trends. I don't know why. And here I am as a musician. I'm also a hairstylist. These things are all based on trends, and I hate trends. So I think
This guy's
maybe
a phony. No.
I know, right? It's just I just think there was a beauty to authenticity, and I like when people stand out on their own and they're not afraid to take chances. Some of my favorite artists are the ones that just weren't afraid to take chances, and by no means do I think we are original or our thoughts are original, but they're not really influenced by anybody other than just everyday life and more or less average people, if you will, or just average stories. I mean, I had siblings that are heroin addicts that part of those stories was where it's from is from them. So like the between the toes and hiding the track marks and stuff like that. So that's the ugly side of it all. Everybody goes to look at the arms, but there's a lot of other places that people like to inject and stuff. So but yeah, and then spineless is a very dramatic take on what I believe is our medical system. After my grandmother passed away from cancer, and my grandmother pretty much raised me, so it definitely fucked me up about 2-3 years ago, and I became really disappointed in, like, actually, I'm not gonna lie, I hated the medical system here in the States, and I believe that they create patients, they create customers, and the way she had been, I'm gonna say, neglected, was just it was horrible. It was a horrible way to watch somebody die, and then it just trickled down to not only the medical side of things, but also to like our food sources and stuff like that, and like just being poisoned. And there's everybody's searching for a magic pill here in the States. Everybody's got this illusion of safety that they're running after and stuff. It's just crazy, man. So that's kind of what Spineless was about. Obviously, it was very dramatic, and it was like a creature that came out, but it was really about the mutation of cancer cells. And that's what that was really about. And my grandmother, who went in for a routine colonoscopy, ended up getting punctured, by some of the best doctors in upstate New York. And she, of course, cancer oxidizes. So she was left on the cutting table for an emergency surgery. And what should have been a 25-minute procedure, I guess, a 30-minute procedure, she ended up being cut open down her whole sternum for 3 hours. And of course, cancer is going to fucking oxidize. She goes in for a routine thing to find out that was the beginning of the end of her. So she had a month to live after that. And I don't know. So I try to put I try to be as empathetic as possible, and just like, you go in for a routine thing just to find out your days are really numbered and a lot shorter than you thought they'd be. So so that kind of made me look at that, and I think the American government is a complete fucking shit show, and I hate politics, and I am anti-politics to every extent. So nobody will ever get me saying this or that or blue or red or any of this shit. So I mean, I can see through it all, man. And man is so fucked, and we are so flawed in the fact that we put people that are so even more fucked than we are in power. Is just like, and we think that they got our best interest. It's kind of a weird thought process. Sorry for all that, man.
No, that's okay, man. We're pretty blessed up here that luckily somebody figured it out, or a group of people figured it out a long time ago, so that we reap the benefits of a proper healthcare system. Because that's one thing that I think Canadians do take for granted, but I don't. Like the fact that we don't have to sell our houses when we get sick and stuff that's a big deal, and I hope that one day you guys get something like that too, because it's possible. You just have to get people to fucking agree in a room long enough to make it happen. So.
And as for political, every time an election comes along, I keep thinking, well, it's just the devil, right? It doesn't matter which one it is. They all lie. They all have the best intentions, but they say what they have to say to get into power. So it's
all that it is, man.
It can be super frustrating. Big shout out again, Tina Marie, of course, who had said hi to us a little earlier, and thank you very much. I don't like interrupting people, but I do like acknowledging when people write in. So.
Oh yeah.
So, what what has it been like, this venture, going back to Arena and kind of doing that solo thing? Because I mean, it's kind of a big thing when you are with a band and you decide to be like, oh, I'm gonna, this isn't just me sitting in my living room talking or singing to myself or coming up with stuff, but you're actually putting it pen and to paper to go your own direction. Um, it's got to be. I know, like you'd said, with having the right producers, you can kind of go from one to the other and jump back and forth. But that mindset when you go to start a project on your own, that venture, what is it like?
Um, I did it with Outlier. So I think it kind of groomed me for the same thing. At first, when I started Outlier, it was just me driving to Cleveland, so about 4.5 hours away every weekend over the course for a year and a half. And I was just doing a lot of writing and scrapping with my producer at the time, Evan McKeever. And you get up in your head a little bit, and you're just like, "Am I biting off more than I can chew? Like, can I really fucking do this?" And so there was definitely moments of doubt. And on the first EP, I had a lot of that. There's a song called Vice, and Vice is literally about living in your own head and like letting your, I hate using the term demons now because that was such a flooded term in that genre of music for so long. But at that time, that's just kind of what it was. It was just the empty bad thoughts in your head kind of taking over, saying you're not good enough, or, you're not, it's not worth it, and to give up and all this shit. So, but a lot of the songs on that album were about overcoming obstacles and stuff like that. So I used it as kind of a bit of a journal, a music journal, to course me through writing that record. And then after I had found members too, once I wanted to start taking it to the stage, I found band members after, and that's kind of how Outlier happened. So I took the same thing really and just applied it to Arena, but I knew that with Arena, I'm not going to have anybody else to even eventually rely on other than just myself. But again, it's going to be a specialty act. So when I play live, I'm just going to pick, some great musicians, some great friends, just to kind of like pop in and stuff like that, and just have a good time. And just like have fun. So the live rotation will probably just rotate every so often, but it'll just be fun. It'll just be like me and friends. So.
Yeah. No, that's very cool. Very cool. I'm sure I got one more question before we kind of do the 20 questions with Matty G. When you started, and it's so funny because you kind of knock yourself off when I mentioned the 20 questions, but where I wanted to go with this was, when you started doing Arena, did the guys kind of get a little nervous? Could they get kind of like, well, what do you mean you're going to do your own thing? Are you going to try to shift directions?
Nobody came out and said anything to me, but I kind of could see it in a couple of their faces. I think, I don't know. I like to think I'm pretty intuitive, and the response for Arena has been really good. And I think they're kind of like, So they're kind of just like, where's this going to go? But being that I started Outlier, and Outlier is still very much like a part of me. I don't want to call it a solo project, but it's my baby. Like it's kind of was like my first baby. So I won't love it more than the other, but Outlier is just kind of self-running now. So it doesn't need as much attention as, I guess, the newborn. You guys probably get it. So, it's like you love them both the same, but the other one needs a little bit more attention now, and that's just kind of what it is. So I guess that's ideally, I guess that's kind of what it would be, but they may have had some feelings. If they do, they have not voiced them, but I can devote 100% to both projects without taking away. And again, Outlier is sitting on so much material. We are just kind of, we're working on the business end right now to make sure we can properly release that material, and then it gets the proper backing and support that it deserves. So it's not like we're going anywhere. We're just strategically waiting right now for the right moves, and looking to get back out on the road and all that stuff. So, but
yeah, very cool. Very cool.
And that's an interesting thing that you said there, because you could have, an awesome album created, and, if you release it in the wrong window, that could directly impact, how that's received. So is the business end of things, is that often harder than sometimes the creativity piece of actually putting the
100%.
material together? Yeah.
Yeah, I would say creative wise, I've never been in too many like brain fart moments. It's kind of I pick up my guitar at least for like 30 minutes a day, and I'll noodle around just to whether it becomes a riff or I'm writing a chorus, and I'll just record it on my phone, or I'll be driving and all of a sudden like a lyric idea just pops in my head, and I'll just jot it down real quick. And so the creativity kind of just comes in waves as it usually does, but the business side is a complete struggle. I've signed 4 shitty record contracts in my life. I've released on major labels, and I've gotten shelved, and I've gotten all these things. So like, and it's a constant uphill battle to deal with the industry.
Yeah.
The whole system is designed to fuck the artist. There's no way around it. So whatever deal an artist signs, it's usually, well, if you're smart, it's with the intention of getting screwed the least amount on your contract, but you're always going to get screwed on your contract. And everybody, by the time your managers and everybody's done taking their piece of you, you have the scraps, and it costs thousands and thousands to make records and songs and artwork and merchandise and all of this. And then by the time everybody takes from you, you're just like, thanks. But yet you're the engine to the car. So nobody you're not going anywhere unless without you. So the whole system is so messed up. And I know that everybody thinks they're going to kind of, I'm going to do it DIY, but you still need help in some sort of way. You need help. You either need financial backing, so like investors, and really labels are just, a lot of labels are just banks with high interest rates, like really high interest rates. So
Did you ever heard of the rapper Tom McDonald?
Yeah.
Apparently he refuses to sign to any label. I was reading. He's just doing everything.
So
go ahead.
Well, I was going to say he's also in a niche market. So there's certain genres you can get away with that. I think Arena is in a genre that is very heavily supported. It's got a very cult following. The whole synthwave, darkwave, vaporwave community is super like open and forgiving and loving, and they want more of it. And I'm a part of like all these synthwave forums, and every time I post something, it's just lights up with positivity, like just positivity.
Awesome.
And it's not to say that I don't welcome criticism, but I just noticed it's a very supporting thing. When you do that on rock and metal, it's like, fuck you, your breakdowns aren't heavy enough, pussy, and all this shit. It's like, look at these guys. Like our first release, when we put out Buried Me Alive through Revolver, like in 2015, nobody bashed the song, but everybody was bashing our look. And they're like, these guys don't know if they want to be Calvin Klein models or rock and rollers. And it's like, fucking A, man. Like,
what do I have to do?
So I thank you, I guess.
Yep.
That you're saying we look handsome. Like what's going on here? So I think I do like the synthwave community a lot. I think they've been very awesome in welcoming me as a new artist, and that's probably been one of the most exciting things about the genre. So yeah. Cool. But Tom McDonald, cool. I think rap is also kind of one of those genres. You can be carried by the people differently versus rock and metal. Rock and metal, I think you rely on your label a lot, and you rely on radio, and you relay, a lot of that type of stuff. So I think it's genre based.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's quickly get into the second part of our show, and we've got our slightly slower than average rapid fire questions with Matty G.
Yep. I prepped him for this, so.
Okay, good.
All right, here we go. Question number 1. What made-up word would you register into the English language? Usually people have at least one. Yeah. Like something you say like when you stub your toe, or you say to your buddies, or...
After nut.
What was that? Vigna.
Okay. Do you have a definition for that?
So it's a very Italian American slang, and so it sounds like minchia, like what the hell, but it really actually means dick. And I don't know why Italian, like Americans, and it's really an Italian from New York thing. So it's I've never met Italians from anywhere else in the world. Even my friends in Italy are like, what the fuck is minchia? And I'm like, Oh, I forgot. We made up our own words out here when we came over. So
We're the real Italians now.
so what we do is like I grew up hearing like minga faccia. So it's like, but when I remember the word, or like when I actually learned the word, I'm like, are you calling somebody a dick face? Like, so,
That's awesome.
Oh,
That's a good
man.
one, man.
Stupid.
Good one.
That's
so
I
stupid.
love it.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, we get some good ones on here, so that's good. All right, what is the scariest dream that you can remember?
Shit. Well, I have two versions of scary. I have one where my mom died. That was scary because I thought it was like real, and it was a very dark room, like velvet wallpaper, like, but it was like a wine red, and it had like these old like Victorian candles, like, you know, like these nice little things coming out of the wall and shit. And the sheets were covered, or the couches were covered in sheets, and it was a small room, and my mom had died, and I was like really upset, and everybody around her was like not paying attention, like she died. So that was like a really fucked up thing. And then my grandmother, I believe, just visited me, but it was an amazing dream. So that wasn't scary, but it was just like scary when somebody passes and they're like right in your face, and you could just read everything on their face as if they were you saw them yesterday. Especially because you normally don't see people's, and I guess in your dreams you don't really see their faces. Like, you know it's them, and you see outlines. And then I only remember one other dream from my youth, and I fought the devil.
Dope.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
With the pick of destiny.
Yeah.
It was like some Constantine shit, I think. It was definitely some Constantine shit.
That's
cool.
dope.
That's
dope.
very cool. Yep.
If you could pick a superpower, what would it be?
Damn. I would just be Superman. That would be my
Okay. That's fair.
Everything that he is, I would just do that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yep. That's a good one. What's your earliest childhood memory? The one that sticks out. Most people have one.
You guys are gonna go, wow, dude, you need fucking therapy. I would say that I remember honestly getting into a car accident, and I was sitting in the back seat. My mom had a Formula One, for those car gurus out there, and we were at an intersection, and we got T-boned, and I was really, really, really little, and somehow we all walked away without a scratch. And then I remember we went over to my grandmother's house, and that's kind of really it. But that's like the first thing I recall. I think I was maybe about like 3 or 4 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I definitely need therapy.
Yeah. There always seems to be this recurring thing of metal with you. So maybe it was just destiny.
Yeah.
That's it, man.
Yep,
it's all metal,
maybe.
car crashes and everything.
Yep.
What activity in your life makes you the happiest?
Being in the studio or being on stage.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's good.
What foreign language would you most like to learn?
Sorry, say that again.
What foreign language would you most like to learn?
What foreign language would I like to learn? Well, I'd like to get proper dialect in Italian, because I know that I have a very Sicilian dialect, and if I went to Italy, they would look at me like I was some kind of bum or riffraff. So they'd be like, "What?" I would
It's like what happens in Canada.
I would say that. I would say that, or I would say I don't know why. I think German is so cool because it sounds like you hate everything. Like when you talk.
Yeah, that's fair.
Right.
And Russian too is like that.
Yeah.
Russian's a very
yeah.
Apparently it's wicked hard to learn though. Russian's like one of the hardest languages to learn.
Yeah, I got a buddy that was born in Russia, and I remember years ago he was trying to show me just even writing a sentence out. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I was like, oh, good luck. I won't learn it. I'm good, man. Thanks.
Yeah.
If you could pick a decade to relive, anyone, which would you pick?
80s.
Yeah.
Good choice.
Good answer.
I would say the 80s for two reasons. Well, I only got to enjoy 4 years of it, But everybody I've heard from for just years on end, and then of course releasing Van Halen, is the same reoccurring thing that every interviewer, every single person says, even my managers and everybody say, the 80s were the most fun times. I've not met one person that said the 80s sucked. So I wish I got to enjoy it maybe in my teens or even in my 20s. So
yeah, the music was good. Movies were fun because the script was there, like the actual stories were there, and you could still find an arcade to walk into. Yeah.
yes.
You can just do copious amounts of cocaine and no one would say anything.
That's true too.
Right.
Okay. Hey Jim, what you doing? Yeah, just some cocaine. All right, cool.
All right.
What was the first movie that made you cry?
Damn, I don't really cry from movies, but there's a couple. There's definitely one or two. Shit. Oh, okay. I would say, did you guys ever see Jack? With
Yeah.
Robin Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That shit is sad as fuck to me.
It is.
So-
Yeah, it is.
It was. That was
So-
heartbreaking.
Jack, like when he gives that final speech at the end, bro, stick a fork in me, man. That's it.
Right.
Man. So that
Yeah.
was it.
Yep.
I would say that, or I would say, damn, there's got to be like one more because I there's only like two that ever really hit me. Oh, What Dreams May Come, actually with Robin Williams as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really powerful.
Dude,
Both great
it's like
movies.
sadness, beauty, beauty. I'm
Just
like, what the
progressive.
fuck?
Yeah, what is it? This is a roller coaster.
Yeah,
I know what you're
exactly.
saying.
Yeah. In fact, it was
Um,
weird. The more sad the movie got, the brighter it got. It was
I
weird.
know.
Yeah.
I know.
Do you believe in aliens?
Like X-Files, I want to believe.
Yeah.
No,
Okay,
I definitely do. What I got a kick out of this whole time is during all of fucking 2020, you got CNN and Fox News dropping the biggest shit about aliens in 2020, and
Yes.
nobody fucking bat an eyelash. I go,
No.
are we that desensitized or just completely fucking warped onto a virus that we don't give a fuck about extra life?
Yeah,
I
isn't
think
that
that's
crazy?
exactly why they did that. I think it was so that because everybody was worried about this pandemic, they could basically said, and we shot JFK, and nobody would actually say anything because they're just so preoccupied. They're like, this is the time to drop all the bombs on people.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fuck, there
Dude,
was like
Yeah.
obelisks, there was sightings there. I remember hearing about it, but
Yeah.
Dude, it was like there was like pictures and videos and like everything finally came out. And then the guy that the Navy pilot from 2016 or something like that, I heard his skit like on a couple other podcasts and his interviews and stuff like that too. And you know, he's like a well-decorated guy who's still got his fucking screws intact too. So I was like, damn, dude. And but yeah, and you know what's funny is you're right. They did put it out, and it was just to see. I feel it was just to see if people would react to anything other than just this COVID thing, and that's it, man.
Yeah.
So
Genius.
genius.
pure genius, Lloyd.
Yeah.
Oh,
I quote movies all day long with my friends. Like I got a couple like close friends, and all it is just movie quotes for like.
Oh, we do that too a lot,
That's awesome.
Tony and I.
Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's very cool. Yeah.
What would you do with $100 million right now?
I would buy my mom a house. I would want to give to somebody, not a charity, because I feel that a lot of charities are really crooked, but I would want to give to somebody who is like some sick children, maybe like terminally sick children. I would want to pay their bills off and maybe help their families out and stuff like that. And I don't know, just maybe invest after that with whatever's left and stuff like that. Maybe actually probably buy an island for myself. That would be pretty dope. And
That'd be
build
cool.
a house on that. So
And then the other 90 million in like Bitcoin.
Yeah.
there you go.
You know, and like it's like, you know, sick children and I'll just an island. Yeah, it was a good balance. It was a good balance.
Well,
You know,
I'm like giving and giving. I'm like, I guess I should do something for myself.
Yeah.
No, it's good. You know, it's actually really cool that you bring that up because up in Canada, I think we often forget that healthcare isn't free. And it really does ruin families when someone gets sick because they just financially can't keep up. So I think it's great that your answer wasn't to the charities, but directly to the people in need. And
Well, and the
that's-
families too, man.
Yeah,
Like if somebody
yeah,
told me
yeah.
my kid was sick, I'd sell my fucking house. I'd live in
That's
a
right.
box so that they could get better.
Yep,
You know,
100%.
so
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
that's cool.
I think I think the idea of an organization sounds great, but I'm such a skeptic that I just think, again, people are so crooked, and I'd rather cut out the middleman and go right to a source. That's honestly what I would rather do. That way I know that they're getting it directly, and I know that my dollar is not being, not a fraction of my dollar is going to them, but the whole dollar is going to them.
Yeah. No,
you should start like Joey Arena's non-crooked charity, like restricted trademark.
Yeah.
But
and I would make sure it's like third party tested, so like I know like everybody working under me has no like corruption and shit like that.
yeah,
I honestly, I would love to do that. I have no fucking clue what would go into something like that, but yeah, but that's cool. Something to think about down the road.
People reach out to Joey, make this happen.
Remember that name too, because I'd totally donate to a charity with that name. I'd be like,
Yeah.
"That's great. Here's
Right.
all my money."
Yeah,
that is
pure
that is
honesty.
actually a really cool idea. And you know what too, like I would love to like send statements to people. Like if you do that, I would love to like just show a transaction of like it going forward and then send you a receipt. So it's like know that all your money went. So all it is I'm just kind of like middlemanning it, but giving you the thumbs up, knowing like, oh, it cleared. Your money actually did go somewhere other than my fucking pocket.
Yes.
Yeah. And the one good thing about technology and the internet today is that you could actually easily make that happen. So
yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah. Just imagine the reaction videos of just people if you walked in, you'd be like, I have paid all your child's bills, and it was donated thanks to this person. And just outright, not only that it's like you don't have to be a silent benefactor. Like this person outright wanted to help you. Bam, they did it.
Right.
Yeah.
We might be onto something.
Yeah. I think there's definitely something there.
You would feel good about yourself, and the universe would totally pay you back in copious amounts of blowjobs.
Yep.
You just be like out in the middle of the day, just blowjobs all the time.
Well, funny thing is, if you enjoy a good blowjob.
This is win-win-win.
What does he get out of it? Well, he gets blowjobs. At least he's not taking your breath.
That's right.
Oh shit!
Just blowjobs, and it's not even like weird because that's like his favorite.
That's cool though. I mean,
yeah. Oh fuck. Yeah. All right. Next question. What's your biggest pet peeve? What gets on your nerves?
What gets on my nerves? Hypocrisy. Big one. That's like my number one thing. I cannot stand hypocrisy, and I would say uneducated people speaking. So ignorance and hypocrisy. That'll be the best way to say it. Those two things drive me nuts, I think.
Those are good.
Yeah, that's fair.
Those are good. When you always bring up this subject, I always think, what bothers me? What gets on my nerves? And I actually don't really think about it much. I was in the grocery store the other day, and that was like my newest thing. The people who park the cart in the middle of the aisle and then start having a conversation. I just want to 300 that cart down the aisle. That's what you get.
That's what you get.
Right? Yeah. It just it drives me crazy. And then and I think it, like my wife really knows that it drives me crazy. And I don't think I say it anymore, but I get this like look on my face when I see this happening or when someone's blocking me. So she did one of those like, I'm going to order the groceries and then we just have to walk in and pick it up. You just get your cart, you go to this weird, and they tell you it's in refrigerator A, freezer B, and cabinet C, for like the frozen, the refrigerated, and the dry goods. And I was just like blown away. I was just like, oh, oh my God, this is amazing. I just came in the door
Bro,
with my cart and I
bro.
picked up my shit that was already ready.
Dude, just to fuck with you, I'm gonna get
Yep.
Kelly to text me you next time you go to pick them up, and I'm gonna put a fully loaded cart right in front of your fucking order.
You would.
Yeah, I would.
You know, you would shit on the one thing that I was just like, this is absolutely amazing. And it's really funny because Kelly was just like, I actually like going through the store, but I knew you would really like this. And I'm like, I don't have to interact with the people in there. Like, I'd rather just deal with the cashier, being like, hi, thank you, have a great day, you know, and go home and make myself a sandwich or something. But when I have to wait for someone who's blocking the aisle, or the worst part is I go up the aisle, I'm like, fuck, I just need to get to the other side. And then they're like in mid conversation, and I'm not a rude prick. So I'll just be like, oh, okay, damn it, I'll take my cart around the aisle and go to the other side. And then by the time I get around there, they finish their conversation, but now they're blocking the other side.
Oh,
I like, oh my God, I just almost lost my mind. Yeah.
That's a fair one, Tony. Fair one.
Yeah.
Couple last questions for you. What was the last thing that you did just for yourself?
I made myself dinner.
But that's like a necessity. That's not.
I love that question. I love that question because people don't realize how.
Yeah. Damn.
Right. I love asking that question.
This is a good sign. You have to remember, you got to do things for yourself sometimes.
Yeah, no, I talk about that a lot, and I definitely, I forced myself to go on vacation for a week to Florida to see my family. All my family lives in Florida. I'm primarily the only one still here, so it's a good excuse to go down and go on a vacation and get out of the snow and all that shit. But I kind of cleared out some room in my schedule. I pushed off some work, and I would say that, but I can't remember anything else, honestly. I don't know. I'm not sure.
You know what you should do this year is you should do a vacation, but to neither Florida or where you are. Go somewhere that's even like remote and safe, and just spend time with each other with no tech, you know?
Dude. Yeah. You know what's so funny is like we were supposed to go on tour in May to Europe. We had a Europe tour, and I wanted so bad. We were supposed to go to the Netherlands, and I told my agent out there to give me a couple off days so I can just really enjoy the sights out there and just get fucking lost, man, and turn my cell phone off. Like, I hate, and anybody who knows me, I hate my cell phone with a burning passion. Like, when people text me, like, I'm that asshole that texts back like a day or two later. And but I don't make excuses like, oh, you know, I'm just seeing this now. Like, no, it's like, I'm sorry, I hate my cell phone. I'm just getting to my text messages. Like, I'm not gonna lie about it. Like, people know that I hate my phone, and if you want to talk, just call me and stuff like that. But I try to get away from my phone as much as possible.
Yeah, I miss people just calling to have a conversation. It doesn't have to be a long conversation. Like, give me 5 minutes of your time, you know, and firing everything off in a message outside of like, yo, can you pick up lettuce on the way home? Like, I just find the full conversations are you're losing touch with humanity.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah. Agreed as well. What activity makes you totally lose track of time?
Blowjobs.
This is really gonna work out for you. Let me tell you, you're gonna be living in this like daydream of just,
yeah, bro. You're gonna emerge from the house with a full beard.
Right?
And like, what day is it?
It's like April 25th. Really? 2027. Oh my God.
I have such a like vivid imagination. So I pictured all of this, and I'm like, oh my God, I've been getting this many blowjobs for this long.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
COVID like will be long gone and like forgotten at that time. Oh my God.
Yeah, oh my God. I got blown straight through COVID.
Right. Through time.
Oh, fuck.
Meanwhile, living without a cell phone in the Netherlands, and I don't even know who's blowing me. But I'm
right.
in Netherlands mountains.
Oh fuck! All right, two last questions for you. Two last questions here.
Beth.
What is the best thing that you've ever eaten? Could be on the road or.
The best thing I've ever eaten.
Yep. Death row, one last meal. What would you choose?
Oh man, I'm gonna be so freaking lame, and I'm just gonna say I'll take a large pepperoni pizza.
Yeah.
In
True
order
New
of-
Yorker.
Yeah, true New
Yeah.
Yorker. I'm gonna take that in order of garlic parmesan wings. And then there's a place, my favorite sushi place in Rochester. It's called California Rollin', and they got this roll called a Bubble Beach roll. It's like shrimp tempura with like spicy mayo and like fucking cream cheese. And
Dude, that's like my favorite one. That we call it the dynamite here.
Yeah, the
oh, the
dynamite.
dynamite, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, like
Yeah.
bro, when I get it, man, I'll eat like 7 rolls just because I'm so stupid like that. I'll just like down it, but it'll be like 5 of those rolls and then like 1 of 2 other like rolls and stuff just to
Cool.
break it up, I guess. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's not a glutton. I just like what I like.
that's it, man. When
Hey,
those 2
mix.
things, I'm like a bottomless pit. I'll go
That's
until
awesome.
I'm like just
yeah.
food coma
Up
and
the
keel
belt.
over.
I
One
love
day
it.
explodes. Yeah.
All right, man. Last question for you today. What is your favorite podcast that you've been on in the last 12 hours?
You guys.
Hey, that's excellent. Even despite all our technical issues at the beginning, that's good to hear.
No, this is my favorite type of podcast. I told my publicist Shauna, I said, please, like, I love podcasts, especially people that are just, you can just be open and just flow with it, like what we've been doing. This is kind of like where I feel that I'm at my best. So whatever that may be.
Yeah. No, that's cool. That's cool. We prefer being able to chat and just let you be you.
Thank you. No, this is great. Honestly, I enjoy these ones the most.
That's great. Excellent. Well, we'll make sure for the listeners on the road that, of course, we will put up that wonderful picture of you up on our guest section of our website, as well as some links leading to social media and to, of course, your newest album. Do you have specific social media that you'd like to pitch right now, or anything else you're passionate about?
I would definitely just say if you have a Spotify account, please give a like to the song, your favorite songs, give the pages a follow, or if you're on Apple Music, whatever it is, just following those pages really does a lot for artists today now. So even though they're not really so much interaction, it counts so much more in the algorithms, and because we get paid so little from streams, that actually a little bit helps quite a bit. With the streaming end of things. So, but yeah,
so
find me on Facebook and Instagram. I'm all over it all.
That's amazing. So wait, you're telling me that I watched or listened to Dreams about 17 times on YouTube today, and you don't get crap from it?
I probably earned about from YouTube. Let's see what YouTube is paying right now. You probably gave me about 3 cents. So.
Oh fuck! I thought you were going to be like, I gotta pay them for that, Tony. You're welcome.
Well, Jesus. So everybody out there listening, you got to go check out Dreams, and if anything, at least listen to it on YouTube as well, so that we can get Joey a cup of coffee in there for at least.
That's what I mean. I love my coffee.
Yeah, that's amazing. Excellent, Joey. Well, thank you very much for joining us tonight, and we'd love to circle back around with you as things are progressing in the year and see how you're doing.
Absolutely, I would love to, guys. Thank you so much for having me. It was great.
Yeah, anytime, man. Take care of yourself.
Have a great evening.
You guys, take care.
See ya.
Bye.